Welcome back to Better Minecraft. Welcome. And today, my main goal is to get some tungsten ore because I want some tungsten armor for hunting wither and also a boss that actually gives wither effect as well. Of course, with this armor, it's supposed to give you immunity towards the wither effect and fire damage, which I'm really excited for. This here is, I believe it's part of the Stalwart Dungeons add-on in this pack. Stalwart. And this is basically where I found it, is where I'm standing. And I'm telling you that because I actually did. Right here is an altar where I fight a boss right there below me. And in the same room is where I found the tungsten ore in the walls, like I mined it, because I found it on stream. I actually did a stream for this because I really wanted to play, but some of the stuff I don't add, I wanted to add in here. Same way as this kind of thing too. I typically don't add this because it's just one of those parts of, I guess, a little bit of grind and relaxation that you have. I'm always looking for spawners to get fragments. I always forget to use my fortune pick too. But I need this because I'm still determined to have a really cool XP farm at home. I'm not sure about if I actually want to ever make an Enderman farm. Having said that, I might do that as well. But this was not the interesting part of this day. This is another village. I'm looking for some resources. And I want to say it was player heads maybe. I think that's why I came here first, because this type of village has a lot of player heads everywhere. And I wanted some for decoration. But keep in mind, when you go down the cellar, it's a bit dangerous. It really is. So be careful coming down here. Be prepared to fight little drunken villagers. They're baby zombies essentially, and they will hit you, and quickly. They have a mob effect, if you will. See? And they just keep on coming. I don't know if I don't even know what my difficulty is at right now for them to be able to break a door. That's here nor there. But they do drop souls as well. So if you're looking for zombie souls, this might be a good place for you to find some. But I was here for decoration purposes only for what I had. So I'm still pretty cautious because these little demons, let's just say they're quick. And I didn't know where the spawner was. I've never been this far in one of these. I think I've died in one of these before during a hardcore run. I believe I have. I don't think it was to these guys, though. I think it was to a regular-sized zombie. Then I'm thinking about... Hope you can't hear that, because I think it's raining and snowing right now. I can hear it. Like, I have everything off, so if you hear it's pretty quiet, it's because I don't have my heater or fan on right now. But hopefully everybody's doing well and safe. So I made it to the end of this little hallway. It just wraps around, and it keeps going down and down and down, like a dungeon would or a cellar. And then I make it to the spawner. But I'm very cautious because these guys and their little hop abilities, look how quick they are. Very fast. And I just basically corner the last guy. I wish they would drop mob heads. I don't know if you can add that in this pack or not. Just as a basic add-on, like for the mobs to drop the heads. But I guess it's not the end of the world. There's these little prisoners everywhere, not just here, but also the last time I saw some, or first time, was, I believe, in the Nether, in a Nether fortress, which I think is a really cool theme to add. But then there's these mobs like this here that you just are not sure what they do. It says unlicensed alchemist. Didn't know what that was at first. I assumed something to do with potions of some kind. And they basically drop skeleton things, bones and skeleton souls. I don't think they drop these nausea potions, though, that they tend to use. Do they have... I'm looking at the thing now at the top. They have nausea themselves. Well, that's unfortunate for them. Anyway, I get to the very bottom I was like, cool, there's going to be some good loot. And at this point, I was ready to leave. I wasn't afraid of, kicking the bucket or anything, but I was ready to do something safer and something that I just really needed to do. Guess what that was? Expand my storage. That's right. I'm expanding my storage in a way that I used to build storages. Now, this is kind of completely inspired by my first big base build area that had a storage, and it went underground. And it was just like this, but of course, this is when you couldn't put chests next to each other, so you had to space next to each other, and they were the front way instead of the side address, like this is here, to fit more in. But this is basically what I did, because I'm always a big believer when it comes to really making Minecraft efficient. It's function over form as a whole. So I don't need a bunch of catty corners and stuff. I want to run to it, leave, run to it and leave, run to it and leave. And it works really, really well. And cutting trees like this, because I needed oak specifically. I wanted this for the flooring and the beams, more specifically, not the strip, not the raw logs. I wanted the beams more specifically because, one, it looks nice with the vanilla chests, which these are. And the beam is just, it brings so much light. The oak beam, that's what I'm using as the flooring. It uses so much light, or brings so much light into the room. Yes, I'm going to have lanterns and things, but when you have that nice reflection, it really gives you that little confidence that you don't have that random dark spot as a whole. Does anybody else overthink their lighting like that? Even if I wasn't playing in shaders, that's something I would think about anyway. And I did actually, however, look at this world with no shaders. The builds are fine, but I don't like the grass textures from far away. It could be my FOV. That's a totally different subject. But as I'm putting these beams in here, I was really, really excited to actually use this storage. I have not filled it yet. I've done about to this doorway right here. But that's about it. Because I just never know what I'm going to have extra. But I'll just do it off camera because it's pretty boring. There's one other thing I needed to do, which was collect some more resources for a build. But I also found out something that I forgot. I forgot I put an egg down here. I don't even know when it was. It had to have been during last episode, probably, when I did this. It's almost gone. I get it out. I do get it out. So thankfully it doesn't die and we can just teleport it up. I wonder how people do this without the waystones. Do they just dig a big hole? Of course, it's not tamed yet. That's fine. It doesn't attack me. Not a big deal. So I tame it, and then I saddle it, and then I park it over here, which I actually might put little parking spots over here for right now. I mean, with the lines and everything, just for the sake of it, looks cool. But this is the easiest way to keep them out of my way, is just over here in the corner. Because that's the only means of transportation I typically use is dragons. I don't fly around a lot on my Electra. Surprise, surprise. So I'm back down here again, just collecting resources. Fun fact, I end up not using the deep slate like I thought I was going to use. The tough I do, but not the deep slate. So I'm down here just collecting deep slate. And the only thing that really stuck out for me was I got tough and a little bit of diamonds. But I still collect the deep slate as well. But the diamonds, because I really haven't found that many in the mine so far. I don't necessarily need them right now because I have plenty that I haven't even used yet. But that's here nor there. You just want to collect them. This was a labor of love, I will say that right now, for the build. I didn't want to rush it, but I also didn't want it to take forever. It turned out much bigger than I thought it was. I did keep it as not overly complicated as I could because these are functional buildings. I'm just going to run in and out, in and out. But I didn't want them just to live in, like a hole or in like a cabinet style where, you just put them in there with like a half slab above them so they can't walk out. Put the profession in front of them. But as I'm doing this little task here, because I needed ink sacks, don't remember what it was for at the time. I really wanted that uncrafting table. There was stuff I needed it for. I don't remember now. Surprise, surprise. But I'm back in the Twilight Forest. And I really wanted this uncrafting table. And I had to come here to this labyrinth to kill these minotaurs. Which is not the boss, but they're supposed to drop the focus I need for this crafting table. It's just the focus in the center and then 8 crafting tables around it to make the uncrafting table, which I hope to use as well. But this labyrinth, you cannot cheese this to just mine straight down because it's levels that you have to find your way around the maze. I don't think I would have found it this well without this map, but I'm sure you can do it. I really think you can. The mobs aren't too bad. Obviously, watch out for creepers, but if you try to dig down, it's bedrock in between the layers, so there's no doing that. And also, the walls take forever to mine. So if you have vein mining, that's the go-to. It's still slow, but it will break the extra blocks. As I'm going through here, I kind of want you guys to see what I do. Of course, I always put torches on the left. Some people do it on the right. Some people put it in the center, but it is a maze, and I want to be able to backtrack. They're not too bad. They're really not too bad. The mobs in here obviously wear some good armor. Be careful of these chests because some of them are trapped underneath, and some are trapped in front with right there, the strings. Yeah, so be careful with those trap chests because they're all over the place. So I end up finding, fortunately, a space and a spawner to where I can just basically chop these guys down. I chopped and chopped and chopped. This is sped up. I probably did this for at least 30 minutes or so. And believe it or not, I came out with only 2. Only 2 focuses. That's all I did. Which I only needed 1, but I have the one I needed. And guess what I get to do now is make the uncrafting table, which I think I've used 1 time, but I have it now. And I also have the achievement, which is nice for me. And I'm slowly ticking these things off. Not sure what this, I think the Fury ingot is for something else, but there's also something else I wanted. You can pause this if you want. This is basically the book telling you need a trophy to open a door into the next dungeon that I'm trying to go into for the next boss I'm going to fight in the Twilight Forest. More specifically, in the Dark Forest in biome. It's where it's at. It's underground. It's the dungeon where the Night Phantom is at, and that's who I want to kill. But I needed a trophy, so easiest one to get right now is the Naga. You've seen me fight this thing. It's pretty easy. Nothing too crazy. But you need the head to actually get there. You can't dig your way in because, as you saw, it doesn't work. The magic stops you. When I tell you the Dark Forest is dark, it's dark. So I'm lighting my path around, and eventually I find something that looks similar to, like, when you're looking for the end portal, that fortress. That's kind of what I saw at first. So I walked around and eventually I found it. This is what it looks like, by the way. The entrance here. Those things are so annoying. They're not that bad, but they are annoying. These are probably my most annoying mob I've fought so far in this episode. It's just these slime ball things. Yeah, they're annoying. For what they are. So you come down here, here's the door, and here is the actual pedestal you place the head on. Whichever one you use, you can use the other one, and it opens it right up. Do you think I jumped in? No. I'm going to tell you that right now. I didn't jump in that hole. I dug my way in. Since it unlocked it, I can finally dig in. So I went where I was at. And I'm never sure if these mobs will do a lot of damage. So you kind of get nervous. You just kind of sit there and worry about this guy is still my most annoying mob. I will say, as long as you have good armor, like you see I'm still in diamond, obviously, this dungeon will not be a problem for you. I'll tell you that right now. It won't be. It seems scary because it's all really dark, but these mobs you can see here don't do much damage. I think it's more of a scare factor than anything. If you're just really not prepared. See, these guys just get on my nerves. Also, I found it helpful to use flame arrows. Not to burn them, but to light the next spaces I'm running around in. Like, I shoot it in the room so I can light it up and see. These little hermit crabs, still again, you can see not very much. I think it would have been fine even if I didn't have the golden apples. This guy is funny. You see it says lower and upper goblin knight because there's 2 goblins in this suit. They don't attack you in the suit. They just run around. They will attack you once they're out of the suit, but I think that's pretty funny. They run around in the suit, but they don't attack you. They're kind of mischievous in that way. But I did find the room. This is the room where the Night Phantom is at. And I was nervous as usual for anything like this, but you know what? I'm pretty ready to go for what it is. Spawners in there and then they spawn up. Of course, the room's really dark. I assume you just attack them all. Eventually, as the health goes down, you can destroy them. This is the full fight. I have not cut anything out of it. I don't think I sped this up either. This is exactly what the fight is and how long it is. It's not too bad. Obviously, avoid the damage because there's more than one. And nice thing is they will take arrow damage. It's one of the mobs that will take arrow damage, which is really nice. Because I can just sit here in this little hallway and just do my thing. It didn't take very long. It only took so long because, 1, I'm a terrible shot, and 2, they kept flying around in the back of the room. But again, you can see the flame arrows lighting up the back of the room. That's why I liked them so much. Because they will help you see. And this fight really wasn't too bad. It seems a little scary when they do the explosion thing coming towards you. I guess like a kamikaze sort of thing, but still not too bad. Nothing fancy. It's just, there it is. It's done. And then we slayed the Night Phantom. S. Not too bad. I get my trophy I was more interested in. The armor and stuff, I probably will never use, but I'll probably put on display. Why? Because I can. Which is not too bad. Not too bad. For whatever reason, I was just kind of on a kick to do things. And I really wanted this achievement. And this Meef Stroganoff achievement, more specifically. So I have to go right back into the Swamp Labyrinth. Oh, it actually says it right there. I just noticed it says it right there. I have to eat this. The Stroganoff. I can't craft it. I have to find it. Apparently so. I will say, once I get down to a lower level, because it's where the Minoshroom, that's what it's called, the boss guy down here. It's close to where you see where those mushrooms are at, the red mushroom. I don't think I would ever found this night, well, conveniently. I will say, you see right here, it's showing where it's at on the map. I don't know how long it would have took me to backtrack, so the map is really nice to have. And I'm pretty sure this is the room that's right here. I go back to kind of look to see if there's anything. See, I still can't find it. So if I probably circled around, I would have found it. I'm going to go this way. Excuse me. Sorry. But you can see how long. This is efficiency 5, I think, pick. And that's how long that took. And there it is. I'm going to tell you right now. I assume he's easy to kill. Like the other guys are. But I cheesed the crap out of this. I cheesed this. And he takes arrow damage, which is nice for 2 bosses in a row. He's not a hard boss. But he is a boss I needed to get rid of. And you can see how quickly that was. Nothing fancy. It's just done. And I'm pretty much done with this swamp labyrinth. These are all the stroganoffs that I collected from that one chest and the trophy. And the thing I came down here for, that's it. It's just to eat it. I wonder if I can actually craft those later. Anyway, I finally finished my set, by the way. I want you guys to see it because this set has been amazing. I will say that right now. It's amazing. Basically, it's on par with diamond armor, if you're wondering. They might have one or more, like attack or toughness or armor on there, wise, depending on the piece. But basically, this is essentially diamond armor with effects, whether immunity towards fire damage and wither, which the wither comes in, well, both, but the wither part is so amazing. So I just went back to something calmer at first because I still wanted to get this build done and things in place for the end of this video. I didn't rush it. That's why this one's coming out a little later. Even though it is shorter, I did take time for this. My next build will probably be the same way. The themed build, kind of like this is. I think this build came out pretty nice for the villagers I stuck in here. I do change it to where the carpet is at the doorway so they can talk to each other instead of keeping them in these little spots like this. And then the guy upstairs, I'm not sure what he was pondering. Jumping, maybe, across to the other section? Don't know, but he decided to go back inside, which is cool with me. And it's been paying off finally. I get to use this. I don't need 1,000,000 villagers. This gives me the incentive to come back to them, to trade quickly and then keep moving. Just for these emeralds. I'm not even sure what I'm using these emeralds for, but at least I get them. I trade them up, and it's been nice, and the XP is nice. So I've been refilling my XP tomes, which I used all those, believe it or not, on this suit here to level it up. And you know what that means? Yes, we get to try this out, which I'm pretty excited about. The one thing I want you to see here first, see how I'm standing here? Just the armor. No damage, but you get that little bit of knockback. And I just want to point that out. Still no damage. You still see I'm at 100 and I'm just taking the shots for fire damage. But I take the fire resist so I don't have that little knockbacky thing, because when I'm trying to shoot arrows, I don't want that. So you don't have to. I didn't, clearly you saw it. I took no damage. No damage at all. But I take the fire resist. Right now I'm also using a night vision potion too, so you guys can actually see it because it's pretty dark and I can't put torches down. You can see I'm taking absolutely no wither effect damage. None. It's like the skeletons are just punching me. See? I'm not afraid whatsoever towards them. But I do this for a while, and you guys definitely don't need to see this. If you find a fortress like this, go towards the towers, and then find the long staircase down. That's where I'm fighting right now. It's a lot of it. I didn't even realize it at first. But I did find something interesting here, though, which was pretty funny to me, is this little puzzle. I just kept looking at it, and I'm still just hunting for wither skulls, and more specifically souls. I don't really care for this, because I need a bunch of nether stars, so I would really like to have the actual soul. I couldn't figure this out. I don't know how this works. I really don't. So guess what I did? Guess what I did? Yeah, I just dug a hole into it. I see the TNT. I don't know if it's supposed to blow me up, because I don't think it does damage to these blocks either. But yeah, all the redstone. Don't ask me how it works, because I certainly don't know. It goes up and around on the wall too. And I will say, it wasn't worth me even coming down here. I guess if you just really want to loot around, by all means go for it. But I really didn't need it whatsoever. So this is basically what you don't see a lot of. And no joke, I've done this for I use so many potions to just night vision, fire resist, just to sit here and keep chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping. And I think I'm about an hour in maybe, and I haven't got one skull yet. Now I do already have one from before, but this hunt, it just took forever. It wasn't so bad, but again, it's just running back and forth, back and forth. I don't want to make a farm or anything, but it turns out pretty well for me eventually. When I say eventually, it just means that my luck is a little bit better. You can see I'm not really worried about them attacking me damage-wise. See? No wither, no wither. I finally get a skull and some more fireballs to the face. And I have to keep putting these fireballs out because I light up the space, and I still can't actually get where I need to get to. Also, this guy, this Skeeto here, I still need his proboscis for another chore later. Fun thing, though, you see this here? I picked this up from that Stalwart dungeon. Is I found a nice, convenient way to make a trash can instead of a lava pool. Don't jump on these, by the way. I just warn you now. There's no getting off of them unless you break the block. They're pushers. Yeah. I'm warning you. Don't get stuck on them unless you want to go that direction. Because, yeah, I didn't have to do anything else besides place that igniter thing at the end and 2 pushers. That's exactly what I have. And this is really, really, really what I needed. See that? Very nice, very easy. Because I have so much random trash. You know, I was trying to figure out what these 2 diamond things on my chest are, but I think it's just from the straps of my backpack. I think so. If you're curious on the armor difference between this and my regular set here, this tungsten set, which I enchanted all of this. This was plain. Besides the actual effect here, you can see it, is basically almost the same. From my experience, the armor effect, there might be one, depending on the actual piece, there is maybe like 1 less armor or 1 more toughness, that sort of thing. But basically the same. Why did I park you? Oh, I know where I was doing. I was doing something else. Anyway, let's come back over here. I didn't record very much of this for the sake of it took me days to kind of just go back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. Back and forth. For this build here. Which I was kind of afraid it was not going to be tall enough. I actually originally wanted it to be a round roof. Which I think I'm going to save for farmers. But I think the size of it's just like perfect. That fits in here. I wanted to add more detail, which, to be honest with you, I think this has a little bit more detail than I was wanting to go with. But I kind of went with it. The small little touches here and there. Even use more trapdoors. These are amazing. I put this here. I let them roam back and forth between these 2 spots here. And then, of course, this guy's got a hamburger. Oh, I was wondering why you were so tall. It's an urn. And then this here. And I've been trading with them for the iron. For those 2. And there's 2 upstairs. We'll go up there as well. I've been trading back and forth between these. So I actually have a good way to get rid of my iron. Also, I actually think I want a bamboo farm to start trading with sticks, you know, for emeralds as well. Not that I really need them anymore, but hey, it is what it is. This is the armor. These pants I picked up from the Night Phantom area. And then, of course, there's these 2 with this trait here. I don't actually need any of this stuff, but it is there. It has an interior. These lights I saw, these lamps, if you just click them, you can turn them on and off. Move. Which is actually pretty cool. I tried to attach a lever to it. Didn't work. So I don't know if there's just no redstone to it like these are. and then their little balcony here that leads over to this space. I am so much closer to actually adding some more like this detail down here. That's why I left it plain, because once I get the pathways in, I can add like, the bushes and small things to look at. And it's coming. So I think soon I'll start working in these sections right here, which I'll probably do off camera or on stream. Not sure yet. But this is the build that took me most of this episode. That's why for the content I recorded for this episode was substantially shorter. I did a whole lot, but it didn't seem that way from as much as that actually is recorded that you guys see. But I did a whole lot more for this, and it's just taking the time to get it to a point that I thought was acceptable, but not completely overdone. But I think it was done really, really well. I did on stream, just to bring that up, I fought a Naga. I did some stuff in the Twilight. Not much building, because I'm always curious on if people are actually curious on building. I may do that. I kind of wish I can add replay. Still can't get it to work. But as a whole, it's coming along quite nicely. I think next episode, which I'm a little dreading, I want a boss fight. And the problem with that is I want to do either... load. This one, which I think I found this one. Or this one. Which both of them I'm pretty nervous about. This one's supposed to be underwater. You're supposed to use like tridents and stuff, but I don't know. And then I still am trying to get the snow biomes to load. I have this one here, and then I have to start this one, but we're pretty much close to ending those. These, hopefully I'll start these. I did find this altar here when I was looking for this is actually where I got all of the tungsten ore blocks, which it looked like a altar at first, but I didn't realize it until I looked at the block in the center. But there it is. I'm sorry if this seems a little shorter, but I did put a whole lot more into this episode here. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I thank you for hanging out.